Hello and welcome to Tim Farmer's Outdoor Country Kitchen. Today we're joined by Chef Bill Hawkins. What's going on from
Nice
the
to see you
Bluebird?
again.
There are people who have gifts. Everything they make is magic. And if you made toast and jam, it would be better than other people's toast and jam because you have a gift. You're a chef. But man, you've got an interesting past. And you used to work in Memphis.
I did.
Tell us about it.
I did.
But not just Memphis. The cool thing about Memphis is the king.
The king. The king is Memphis. And I had the wonderful privilege of opening a nightclub with Elvis Presley's Memphis, their nightclub on Beale Street in 1997.
Wow.
And I spent 5 years with them.
That's so cool. And you had access to people who actually cooked for Elvis.
Well, I had the opportunity to meet Pauline Nicholson, who worked in Elvis's mansion. I say worked, she really lived there with him a lot at the time, served them food, got to work with him, and she talked to me.
Baby. Take the sandwiches to the jungle room.
Exactly. And she talked to me about the way Elvis ate. I had an opportunity to work with her one night at Graceland. This is really what I want to talk about. She talked about meatloaf and pork chops and burgers and peanut butter banana sandwiches and all of these things, and we took these ideas and kind of reapplied them back into the restaurant. So, you know, it was really Pauline Nicholson that gave me my education in that genre of food, or in Elvis food.
Wow. Speaking of that, we got a Dutch oven warming up, 350 degrees. If you check your guide, you'll see that that's 17 coals on the top, 8 on the bottom. Anything that you can do in the oven, you can do in a Dutch oven outside. It's too hot to be inside. It's even too hot for our cowboy hats for our cowboy cooking segment. So we're going to talk about Elvis's meatloaf that she made.
Well, and I think this is really kind of a fusion there, because we talked about Elvis and we talked about the meatloaf, but we also, you know, I wanted to challenge you with this cowboy cooking segment. And I thought, you know, of course we can do roasts and stuff, but can we make a meatloaf? That seems like kind of a delicate baking technique. So here we go. Anyway, Pauline, she said meatloaf is ground beef, first and foremost. And then the next most important ingredient would be some bacon fat in there. And we've got some bacon fat, we've got some Worcestershire, we've got a couple shots of Tabasco with just a little salt, pepper, garlic. The overwhelming theme to what she counseled us on was we were overthinking all of this. He ate simply. You know, we think of him as the king, but he was overwhelmingly, what she told me was he was a simple man that liked simple foods. So the whole idea was to simplify it. We've got onion, green peppers, celery, carrots, red peppers. Some of that I couldn't help but chef it up a little bit. She really only had onion and celery in there. I had to have a little bit more. So we'll add that in, a little bit of breadcrumb, and just kind of eyeball that.
Just enough to work it into the burger. But that's the interesting thing right there. A little bit of bacon fat.
The bacon fat. She was big on the bacon fat. That was a must-do. And a couple eggs. And of course, you know, us being who we are, this is all local grass-fed beef, all organic, locally raised, pasture-raised chickens and eggs. Now we've just got to mix it up, and I'm just going to get in there as we're outside. I don't have any of my appliances, but that's how she would have done it as well.
Stick your hands
just
right
stick
in
your
it.
hands right in there and mix it up. So we're going to get it all folded and mixed and formed into a loaf.
Elvis lost his mom, I think she was 42. I think he died at the same age she did, which is amazing. But do you think maybe that he looked at her as his replacement mother?
Well, you know, obviously I couldn't speak of what Elvis thought because I never met him, but Pauline definitely thought of him as a son. And she said that she would call him her white son and he'd call her his brown mama. And I think definitely there was that familial relationship in a home type setting, because Graceland's, I don't know if you've been there, it's very much a home.
Oh yeah.
You know, you don't think of these palatial mansions and everything that they have now. It's very much a home. And you know, you had a kitchen. I got to cook in that kitchen.
Wow.
And that's how I met Pauline. I was called out to the property because she was an elderly woman then. But I got to cook in that kitchen for a private party Lisa Marie was doing that evening, and it was really wonderful. She was a wonderful, nice person.
No, let me see. Lift that meatloaf up. Oh, you've been working it here. It looks beautiful.
I've been working on it.
I can almost eat that raw. Look at that.
Meatloaf tartare.
What's the final touch here you're going to put on it?
Ketchup. Ketchup goes on top of the meatloaf. We put a little bit of molasses in it, or as around here we would do a sorghum to tie it into Kentucky. But it's just a ketchup and molasses, and we'll just baste the whole outside of it with that. An alternate would be bacon or bacon grease as well, but we wanted to temper that a little bit with and the tomato gave it a wonderful color.
I'm just gonna let you know, I'm kind of starving. So really, we got this up to 350, and you got how many pounds of meat there, would you say?
That's about 1.5 pounds meatloaf.
So this is gonna go fairly quick at 350.
It should. I'd say we're done in 20, 25 minutes.
I tell you what, I'll do the pulling off the top. Are you brave enough to toss it in there?
I'll toss it in and baste it.
All right, Bill, here we go.
Oh yeah, that's hot.
Yeah, we got hot.
All right.
Listen for the sizzle. Yeah!
Oh, isn't that nice? I only cracked it in one spot, and then we'll just glaze it.
What is it about cooking outside that everything just, I don't know, is it just your mind playing tricks on you, or does everything really taste better?
I think it absolutely tastes better. Look at that, isn't that pretty?
Isn't that a beautiful thing? Look at that. Now, we have something that we call the dinner train. We haven't done this too much, but if you want to climb aboard the Tim Farmer Country Kitchen dinner train, we're going to be at your place at the Bluebird
Awesome.
on July 23rd. Now, this is probably something you want to call ahead and get reservations for, because I anticipate there being quite a few people there. Come down and join us for a night's dinner fit for a king.
I think you know, the guests will love it as well, because like I said, you know, what Pauline taught me about cooking for Elvis is really applicable to our clientele as well. It's Southern food, it's comfort foods. We'll do it with what Bluebird's known for, locally farmed products, natural foods. We'll fuse the two things together, and it'll be awesome. I think it'll be a good time. I appreciate you coming out and working with us.
It's always fun. It's always fun coming down there. And what's even more fun is smelling it. It's seeping out. Do you smell that?
Yeah.
I can smell your peppers. We're gonna have to take a look at it here in a minute. You want to take a peek at it right now?
I think it should be about ready.
We're getting close.
Oh yeah, that smells nice.
Look at that.
Little Elvis Presley style meatloaf with a molasses and tomato glaze.
Oh man. Look at that. Tell me that's not meatloaf perfection right there.
That is beautiful.
Look at that.
Now what we would do in the restaurant is we just ladle a little bit more molasses tomato right over the top again. Tim, I am amazed at how well that thing did at meatloaf.
Isn't that something?
That is ridiculous. This is great.
You like this, don't you?
I love this. I'm amazed. I really thought I was picking something that would have been, you know, the Dutch oven defeater, that we weren't going to be able to do it, but it did a perfect job.
Oh, anything that you can do in the oven, you can do out here. And this savory flavor is what the king would sit in the jungle room. Would she let him eat in the jungle room? I wonder if he did it.
I don't know. I don't know.
You know what, now we took a week off because John got sick. But what do you think about the beginnings of our smokehouse over here?
Oh, that's cool. I've always wanted one. I've wanted to build one myself. I've been watching so I can learn how to do it.
Here's step 2 with our buddy John Akers.